So my name is Felicia Arce. I'm an AT specialist for Wind. I mainly work on the AIM project, so that's accessible educational materials, and I'm an AT lifetime user. Using Windows features or Apple features is something that I need to do when I'm functioning with a computer. Here's the agenda for today. We're going to talk about UDL, settings, but Windows calls it ease of access, keyboarding, narrator, speech recognition, an app called Ginger, and then Bookshare. So today for learning outcomes, we're going to utilize accessibility features using Windows, which means customizing display of information, accessing assistive technology, and optimizing individuals' choice and autonomy. And I think that looking at the UDL guidelines from CAST was really important to me because, having a disability, getting my choice and the ability for autonomy is huge. A part of the CAST guidelines, they made UDL assumptions, and some of the assumptions were learning as a dynamic interaction of the individual with the environment / context. The learner's ability / disability is at the intersection of the individual and learning environment / context. And then I kind of modified the last one where it says different options help learners and workers demonstrate their learning. So it's really, we think about UDL as a lot of times as a teacher is going on to the students, but kind of this presentation will be what do the learners do, and then the learners will soon become workers, and how are they going to use this in their environment. So part of the guidelines I took, we've seen a lot of the aspects, and I kind of highlighted, I made these stars myself, but offer ways to customize information, alternative audio, accessibilities, alternatives for visual information, optimize accessible tools and assistive technology, and then optimize individuals' choice and autonomy. It coincides with what I do for AIM. A lot of the stuff, it's people will say, oh, making it audio, then they're not really reading. And so it's kind of getting that understanding of they are reading. It's just the best way that they learn is through audio, or, getting the print larger or in the format that they need to learn. Going to ease of access. I just realized at the beginning of this signing into Echo that once I take control, then my mic is being used, so I won't be able to use some of the features. I encourage you to, if you're running Windows, to try to use these features after this presentation's over. Magnifier is a part of the ease of access. There's going to be two different options. One of the options is kind of like a bar, and you could just move that bar around. Another one is just you get to magnify the whole screen. And then for high contrast, it helps you easier identify certain items easier. And then changing the text, it will allow the text from the whole, like during websites and all that stuff, automatically be changed to a larger font. Another accessibility feature is an on-screen keyboard, sticky keys. I've figured out sticky keys pretty well, but I've yet to figure out how to use sticky keys before you would log into a computer. So some of the stuff I've learned and I use every day, but some stuff I'm still trying to figure out how we can make it accessible from when you first sit down at a computer. And using the mouse or using the keyboard for the mouse keys and directions. Some keyboard shortcuts would be a lot of the Windows stuff. They have you use the Windows key to kind of like as to bring everything home. And then if you push Control with the plus or minus sign on the keyboard, then it will help you just zoom in and you don't need to access the features. It just automatically does it as part of the shortcuts. And then Alt-Tab is where it can switch between things that you have open. So let's see if this will work. So narrator, I'll show you this soon after, but we can turn it on right now.
Selected.
Oh, there.
Choose a voice. Microsoft select.
Choose a voice. 10. On, off, on. Repeats on. Exiting narrator.
So those are we have 3 different options for voices for voice narrator now. And then you could change the speed and the pitch. Magnifier, like I said, you can go and change the views. So with that, it could be at 100%, and then the lens, you can invert colors. And then you could change the contrast. Oop. Let me change it back. You turn on your keyboard and sticky keys. So let me go back. And like I showed you with narrator, oop. So here's, since narrator won't work right now, I'm going to show you guys the commercial for narrator. But definitely when it's at a commercial, everything works smoothly and it's a little bit more of a learning process.
Narrator is a screen reader app that reads text on the screen and describes what's happening on your PC. When you're on the sign-in screen, press the Windows logo key plus Enter. Or, if you're on a tablet, press the Windows logo key plus volume up. Windows sign-in, pane, password. After you've signed in, you'll need to start narrator again. If you're using a desktop or laptop, press the Windows logo key and enter. Start menu, pane, mail. Narrator has keyboard commands for reading what's on the screen. Most of them use a combination of the caps lock key plus another key. Press caps lock and F1 to open a list of narrator commands. You can filter by basic commands, navigation commands, or text and table commands. The start screen contains a number of tiles of different sizes lined up in a grid. Each tile represents an app. Press the arrow keys to move around the start screen. Narrator highlights and reads each of the app names: mail, calendar, weather. Press enter to open the selected app. Weather window, weather app. Narrator also reads text as you browse the web. On the start screen, press the arrow keys to get to your browser. And then press enter. Press the caps lock and up or down arrow keys to choose what you want narrator to read. Paragraphs, items, headings. When you hear narrator read the view that you want, press the caps lock and the right arrow key to read the content in that view. Travel. Personal journeys. Finding gems on the Tuscan coast. To have your email messages read to you, press Tab to move the focus from the folder section to the list of messages. Within that list, press the caps lock key and the left or right arrow key to move from one message to the next. When you get to the one you want, press the caps lock and the letter M to have narrator read the entire message. Yard sale. Hello, Clara. We are having a yard sale this weekend. Have anything to sell? To close narrator, press the Windows logo key and enter.
So that is something that I would be using. I work at Win, so I have a program called Kurzweil, but if I didn't, I worked in a work environment, I would use narrator to read a lot of my emails or read articles. So it's very helpful. The next thing that I'm going to show you guys is called speech recognition. It's definitely a way, it's very similar to Dragon, and it's very similar to Dragon. I found it a little bit harder to navigate some days. It's just really, you have to train your computer, and it has you read a sentence to kind of get your mic kind of used to your speech. But I think it takes a little bit few more sentences to really have the guidance right. So here's a Windows video to explain what speech recognition is.
With Windows Speech Recognition, you can control your PC with your voice and dictate text instead of using a mouse or keyboard. To open speech recognition, enter speech on the start screen. Then select Windows Speech Recognition. To turn it on, say Start Listening, or select the microphone button. To see all the apps on your PC, first say Start to bring up the start screen, and then say Apps. To scroll through your apps, say Scroll Right or Scroll Left. Everything on the screen is assigned a number. Say Show Numbers. In this case, we want to open the Mail app. Say 16. Then say OK to launch the app. A dialog will appear in the speech recognition box that tells you the app's name, so next time you can just say its name without using the numbers. If you ever want to go to the desktop, just say Show Desktop. And to get back to Start, say Start. To change PC settings, use Windows keyboard shortcuts along with regular verbal commands. In this example, we'll change our lock screen image. To get started, say press Windows C to open the charms. Then, to open PC settings, say Settings. Then say Change PC settings. Now, to change the lock screen itself, just say Show Numbers. 13. Then OK. Now let's see how to work with apps. Let's start with an example using the Weather app. To open it, say Weather. Then, to see the app commands, say right-click. Now in this case, we want to move from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So just say the app command, change to Celsius. You can use the search charm to search your entire PC and the internet. To open it, say search, and then say what you want to search for. In this case, we'll say Italian food. To select the one you want, say Show Numbers. Or OK. To see more results, use the scroll commands. Say Scroll Right. You can also see a list of all available speech commands. Just say, what can I say? This will take you to a help and support window found on the desktop.
So if you guys see up here, I can turn it on. And I'm clicking on it. I don't think that my mic, oh, now it is. Show Numbers. 2. No, it's not working. But in general, you can practice, and I think that me talking into echo is probably taking the mic over speech recognition. And another app that I use is called Ginger, and you can't see it right now, but there's usually this circle that will help me with my writing. So with that, it does has a text reader. It helps me with my grammar. I'll play you a little tutorial right now of it because I think it better explains, and then you could see how it looks on my desktop.
functionality and a new user interface. The following tutorial will guide you through our updated features. Let's get started. The new interface appears as a G at the top of your screen and includes the review mode, text-to-speech reader, personalized learning program, and settings. These features help you navigate through Ginger's offerings. Hover over the G at the top of your screen to open the Ginger menu. For your convenience, the G can be moved to a different location at the top of your screen by clicking and sliding the widget. Click on Review Mode or press F2 to open the proofreader tool. Your incorrect words will be highlighted, and you can either fix or skip entire sentences or make corrections on a word-by-word basis. Premium members will also have the option to have their texts read out loud. Ginger's text-to-speech reader allows you to hear your texts read aloud in an authentic US or UK accent. The feature is available now for premium members. Click on the learning icon to open your personalized program for improving your English. Here you can find a list of your recent writing mistakes and practice on the categories where you need the most help. The settings icon allows you to adjust Ginger to your personal preferences. Would you like to check your texts according to US or UK style? Set your language here. Not using your mouse? You can open the Ginger keyboard by clicking F2. Change your default key preference under the hotkey. Delete all the words in your dictionary by clicking on this feature. Configure the settings for your text-to-speech reader here. Upgrade to Premium to access this feature. Now you're ready to start using Ginger. Enjoy our upgraded Premium version to access your
So this is an app that I use every day, and I really appreciate it knows how to figure out your contextual paragraph. So for example, I was writing an email, and I wanted to write immediate, but I accidentally wrote intimate. So I would have said, I'll give you my intimate response, but yeah, so that's just one way that I've used Ginger. So another program that I use is called Bookshare. So when you sign into Bookshare, you have the option to search for books, and then once you download the books, they'll be at your recent books. Here, any student can, just sign into Word or Windows or Apple, and they could just go on the web browser and sign in, and then press Read Now. And then from there, okay, so I have it pulled up. So then it will look like this, and then from here, the student can read the book. So it just said that it needs to use Google Chrome, but so using the Google Chrome browser, it'd be able, so the student can get their accessible books using any computer and just using the internet. So with that, there's just some feature. I just wanted to show you some basic features that are on Windows, and then some few apps that I use to personally benefit my working experience.